Many artifacts from antiquity raise questions among people. What is depicted on them? How many thousand years ago were these drawings made? All this forces scientists to actively seek more and more new answers. In this video, I will tell you about the greatest invention of the ancient world, show how the tomb of Tamerlane was opened, you will see a mysterious golden artifact from the pyramid, and you will be able to read the text of the most ancient Russian book. Hi friend, you're on the KirTop channel. The wheel, the greatest invention of the ancient world. This is a complex invention, and it was so easy for young mankind to not invent it. After all, there is no wheel in nature, and nothing can push primitive people to create it. All primitive technologies came from natural devices. A stick became a spear, a piece of flint, a knife. A forked stick became a pitchfork. But the wheel is not there. It is a fictional artifact of Homo sapiens. When the first villages of settled farmers appeared along the rivers, crafts appeared, and 6,000 years ago, Sumer invented a potter's wheel to make pots. This is not a wheel yet, but a circle revolves around an axis, and a start has been made. Then the cities of the Sumerians and trade between them went up. To transport goods by water, people invented boats and rafts, but the problem of transportation by land remained, because you couldn't carry it on your shoulders. Then people tamed draft animals, horses and bulls. They took 100 kilograms on their mighty backs and unloaded people. But the Sumerians quickly reached the limit of baskets hung on animals, and again wondered what to do. And then they came up with the world's first transport, a sled on skids. True, you can't drive much on a sled in Iraq, and then an unknown designer saw a potter's wheel. The first wheels of mankind were fixed tightly to the axle and rotated with the axle. Later, people will come up with fixed axles around which the wheels rotate. The carts of people were immediately four-wheeled, and the life of the ancient world accelerated 100 times. A pot with a picture of a cart, 5,500 years old, was found in Poland. On the Danube, 5,000-year-old clay models of carts have been found. And in England, wheel tracks have been found on a road 6,000 years old. And in Russia, a cart was found in the Mons not much younger, 4,800 years old. But the wheel, besides life, has become a technology of death. Kings and generals received chariots and carts, were able to move thousands of soldiers and food for hundreds of kilometers. This spurred the creation of empires, and the most secluded city in the world is no longer protected. Opening of the tomb of Tamerlane. In 1941, the grave of the great conqueror Emir Timur and his relatives was opened in Sehemkhet. This expedition was led by Deputy Chairman of the Council of People's Commissars of Uzbekistan for Science and Culture Tian Koreniazi and anthropologist Gerasimov. The group also included Orientalist Alexander Semenov, Tajik writer Sadrahin Aini. The shooting was carried out by the operator of the Tashkent film studio Malik Kayumov. For the first time, the Samarkand Regional State Archives released previously unknown photos of this event. A legend is associated with this event, according to which the beginning of the Great Patriotic War was the result of the opening of the tomb. On the tombstone, inscriptions were found in the ancient Arabic language, which supposedly were a magical seal that protects the ashes from abuse. The full text of the inscription contained a warning for those who want to open the tomb. We are all mortal. The time will come when we will leave. There were great before us and will be after us. If anyone takes pride and ascends above the others and disturbs the ashes of their ancestors, let the most terrible punishment befall him. During the expedition, scientists also uncovered other burials. Timur himself, his son Shakruk, and Miran Shah, his grandsons Ulugh and Muhammad Sultan, Timur's eldest wife. 2 days after the opening of the grave, the war broke out, and the expedition was hastily curtailed. The remains of Tamerlane and his relatives were packed in boxes and transported first to Tashkent and then to Moscow. Gerasimov began work on the reconstruction of the appearance of the Asian ruler and other Timurids. It took him over a year. The remains of the Timurids were first stored in Moscow, then were transported to Samarkand, where on November 20 they were buried in the Gur-Emir Mausoleum. Golden artifact under the pyramid of Sehemkhet. During the excavation of the underground gallery of Ghanem, another wonderful unexpected find awaited. When archaeologists were clearing the floor of the gallery, one of the workers noticed some kind of shine on the wall under a layer of sand and clay. carefully shaking off the clay, Ghanem took out 21 gold bracelets, wrist hoops, and a gold rod. However, the most unique find among jewelry was a very small piece of hammered gold in the shape of a shell, reminiscent of a woman's powder compact. Found gold jewelry, the only known examples of jewelry art of the 3rd dynasty. They are now kept in the Cairo Museum. Jewelry from this collection, dating from the Old Kingdom, can rightfully be considered one of the oldest jewelry in the history of mankind. But back to that very powder for boxing. It is she who is the most interesting artifact found to date in the underground corridors of the Sehemkhet pyramid. The powder box is made of 2 sheets of gold fastened with a mini loop. Everything would be fine if not for 2 circumstances. First, the chemical composition of this gold is still not widely available. The second is the golden loop, which is barely visible, soldered. Another interesting point is the very thin hinge axis connecting the 2 parts of the shell. If this axle was made of gold, then with intensive use it would have frayed and broken long ago. It would be more logical to make it from a more durable metal. But it is believed that during the 3rd dynasty, the Egyptians still did not know either iron or steel. The question of what kind of metal is still open. Akyrtas, a mysterious place in Kazakhstan. Akyrtas is a palace and fortress structure of the 5th-3rd century. This palace complex is full of secrets and arouses the interest of researchers from all over the world. There are many legends around it, and scientists still cannot come to a consensus about what was here, who built it, and why. The territory of the ancient complex has dimensions of 162 by 138.5 meters. At the corners, the walls are reinforced with semicircular towers. The height of the northern tower is 3 meters. The internal space of the building consists of many different rooms and of different sizes and purposes. The main inner street connects the north and south entrances. The whole area is very clean and well appointed. Special paths for inspection have been made. The dilapidated walls are made of red sandstone stones, expertly crafted and laid in such a way that they can hold up without any bonding material. The size of the stones and the way they are processed are striking. One can't help but wonder how the builders of antiquity managed to do this, and even more so, how they were delivered here. One can only guess. A lot of work was expended. A lot of the same stones are chaotically scattered throughout the territory. As you know, this complex was not destroyed, it was simply not completed and abandoned. Ancient long-term construction. Many different legends are associated with this place. This area attracts many fans of the supernatural. It turned out that medical tourism is well developed here. Many people come to heal with the energy of red stones. You need to find your stone by touching it, and when you feel a slight tingling sensation in your palm, then it's yours. You need to sit next to him and all diseases will go away. Shakyamuni Buddha tooth. Buddhism, it would seem, should have avoided the appearance of all sorts of hanging relics, because the method of burying the dead adopted in Buddhism does not imply the preservation of the remains. Burial in this religion is accepted by burning bodies, but Buddhism did not escape the appearance of relics. One of such artifacts was the tooth of Buddha. According to legend, the tooth belonged to the founder of this doctrine, Buddha Shakyamuni. This relic was saved from burning by his student Kama, who picked up a tooth on the teacher's funeral pyre back in the 6th century BC. This, according to the same landing, is the left canine, which was secretly taken to one of the many states of the then India, namely to the kingdom of Brahmadatta. For a long time, the tooth, which was kept in the royal treasury, did not manifest itself in any way, but gradually, a legend developed that only the true owner and the keeper of the tooth can be the king of the state. It is clear that many nobles tried to take possession of the tooth, but practically no one was able to do it. But even the attempts themselves led to an endless line of warriors for the throne. For the storage and worship of the shrine, the Sri Dalada Maligwa temple was built in Kandy, where every year a big festival is held in honor of the tooth of the Buddha. Hidden text in the oldest Russian book. For a start, what is generally considered the most ancient book with an old Russian text? This is the so-called Novgorod Psalter, which was found during excavation in 2000. Its discovery became an unheard-of sensation in Russian archaeology and world Slavic studies. Indeed, until then, the Ostromil Gospel written in the middle of the 11th century was considered the oldest written monument of ancient Russia. The book consists of 3 wooden planks made of linden wood, fastened with dowels. On the other sides, there is an image of of a cross, and the inner ones are waxed, and the words are inscribed on the wax. Thus, 4 pages of ancient handwritten text fell into the hands of scientists. The dendrochronological estimate of the age of the find fits between 988 and 1036. Radiocarbon analysis confirms these boundaries. The content of the book itself does not represent a special sensation. These are just biblical psalms. But upon further study of the finds, historians were in for a surprise. There was a hidden text in the Novgorod Psalter, which was first written and then erased. In general, this is a characteristic feature of wax writing. The tablets could be used repeatedly. The text was written down, then the wax was erased, and it was possible to write again. In the schools of ancient Russia, this is exactly how the children were taught. Among the hidden inscriptions, there are fragments of psalms, fragmented from the Apocalypse of John the Theologian, and many other church texts. But most importantly, there is one secular inscription. Well, as a secular, this doesn't mean a quote from the Holy Scriptures but a historical note. An unknown scribe informs us that in 999 in Suzdal, the monk Isaac was put in charge of the church of Saint Alexander the Armenian. And this is the earliest mention of Suzdal in Russian texts. To rate this video, you just need to leave your thumb up under it, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell. And soon I will return to you with new material. Thanks for your views. Bye everyone!